Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you my top 10 toys under £10 for toddlers. These are also all Montessori inspired, and this range of toys is specifically for 2-year-olds, around about the 2-year-old age mark. If you have a child that is slightly younger, I have a video exactly the same as this for 1 to 1.5-year-old toddlers, so you can go check that out. I'll link it here. I also have a whole Montessori at home playlist, which you can go check out as well for more Montessori videos. And without further ado, let's get into my top 10 toys under £10. My first toy recommendation is 2, 3, 4 and 5 piece puzzles. These are really great if your child has already mastered the peg puzzles and is looking for more of a challenge. This is a really great activity. There's a bunch of these on Amazon. I'm going to link everything down below in the description bar that I'm showing today, by the way, so you can go and check it out if you're looking for Christmas presents. This is just a little bit more challenging than a peg puzzle, and yeah, just makes a really nice gift as well. The next toy is a threading activity, and it is threading beads or threading cotton reels. This is the set I have, and it's basically wooden beads with massive big holes in the side. You can get different levels of difficulty with these depending on how advanced your child is. You can get these ones which are quite simple beads. You can get ones that are smaller size, like you can get cotton reels with really small holes in it. And the idea, of course, is you just put your bead on the thread, and then you put them all down, and it makes a little necklace. So my son really enjoys doing this. By the way, if you watched my last vlog, then thank you for the person that said to tie a little bead on the end so that they stay, because I couldn't think how we were going to stay on the end. And so my mum got me like a very long long shoelace, and we tied a knot in the end. So thank you to that person that said that. But this is just like the next step up from like a threading cheese, which is what I recommended in my last video. This is a bit more difficult because it's just a bit of a thinner hole, and you have to hold it, and there's like multiple different actions that are required in this activity. So that's my next recommendation. By the way, I've tried to make this encompass a large range of skills, that like lots of different skills, so that if you want to buy a lot of these activities and toys, they'll kind of all go together nicely because they'll have a different kind of skills that you're targeting within Montessori. So the next thing I've got to show you is this, which is a book. I always recommend a book because books are just amazing. This is the one that I've bought for Samuel for his Christmas. We found this in a charity shop. It's the Usborne Look Inside a Farm. You can get a bunch of different ones of these. You can get Usborne Look Inside the human body. You can get ones about vehicles. You can get lots of different kinds of ones, and depending on your child's interest, you can get the one that suits their interest as well. But basically, they're very detailed books, you can see. And the thing that really appeals to little kids, of course, is there's flaps. So there's a flap there, and that's like really detailed about how like farming works, and then there's like flaps within flaps. See? It's like really multiple layers of flaps. And yeah, it's just a really great next stage of books because it's really detailed. These are really realistic looking, and they're actually really informative as well. Like I feel like I'm going to learn a lot about farms through this book. So that's my book recommendation for 2-year-olds. Now I feel like 2 is like the perfect time to get your child into doing some art, some very basic art activities. I've been doing this with my son recently, and he's really been enjoying it. So my art recommendations would be these pens. There's a bunch of different colours, of course, and these are the Crayola Pipsqueaks pens. So they're basically just like the Crayola pens, but they're just a little like toddler hand size. They're really cheap. You can get them on Amazon. And then also poster paint. You can get like a pack like this of poster paint, or you can get like massive bottles. This is just like a really small pack, and then you can get like a pack of paper as well. And for the pens, the paint and the paper, all of those things you can purchase together for under £10. So that's a really cheap way to get started doing art with your 2-year-old. Next, I would recommend a coin box with a slot in the top and a key. So you can get these on Amazon really cheaply. They're not designed for kids, but your child can of course use them. They're metal, they have a little key that you put in and turn to open it, and then they've also got a slot in the top. So what you can do is put coins or like buttons and put them in the top of the slot, and then your child has to practice opening it and getting them out again. So there's a few different skills at play there. Though my son is still really interested in posting activities, so this is a posting activity, putting the buttons into the coin slot, and then the key, which is really quite difficult for like a young 2-year-old, to open it and take them out again. And it's a really good Montessori activity that you can get really cheaply as well. Next is just a large variety of small parts. You might see online things like the Grims and the Grappat, like the wooden rings or the little people or the little parts, you know, but they're really, really expensive just for some little wooden parts. You can do this really cheaply without going to these expensive brands. You can get like lots of different colours of pom-poms, and you can use it to sort by colour. You can get lots of different colours of buttons, again, sorting by colour, putting them in different things, transporting them within the transporting schema. There's so many things that can be done with small parts, and you don't need to buy the expensive, like nice looking wooden things if you don't have the budget. Get pom-poms, get buttons, get little shells, get little things that are outside, acorns. You can get a whole variety of things, and on Amazon you can buy them really cheaply, just a whole bag, like whole bags of stuff. You can probably get like 2 or 3 bags at least for under £10 of different stuff. And it's better to get like a wider variety, like pom-poms and buttons, rather than getting like one tiny packet of rings, in my opinion. So that's a really easy way to get loads of small parts without spending too much money. Next is some more advanced cleaning items. I shared in my last video the Melissa and Doug cleaning set with the brush and the little brush and dustpan and brush and like the mop and stuff, and that's quite good for this age range as well. But if you want to get more advanced, you can get your child a little spray bottle and also a little squeegee for the window. My son's really been enjoying doing that recently. And you can get these for about £5 each if they're like adult sizes and not specifically kids' toys. You can get a Melissa and Doug set of this with like a load of different things in it for £15 if you want to get the set. But individually you can get the items for much cheaper than that. And that's a really good way to build on the practical life activities skill. The next thing is to do with music, and the musical instruments that I would recommend at this age are a little guitar or a little harmonica. These are obviously not going to be used necessarily 100% properly, but my son loved, when we visited friends recently, he loved strumming along on the guitar that they had. And these are just really great things that you can buy for pretty cheap, and it's a lovely gift again to get a little guitar or harmonica for the child that you know in your life or for your own child. The next thing is matching cards with animals. So you can do this where they identically match. You can get a little plastic animal or a wooden animal and have the exact same picture, and you match them identically. But the next step up from that is to get ones that are not 100% identical. So I got this little set for Samuel's Christmas off of Amazon for around about £10. And they have these little cards with like the eel on it. These ones are like sea creatures, so sea turtle, eel, starfish, dolphin, penguin. And then they have the little animals. So they have like a little lobster, a little shark, all the different matching things, but they don't match exactly. So that adds an extra element of difficulty. So for example, I'll show you the shark. They look similar, but they're not identical, you know? So they're harder to match. And that's like the next step up in my opinion, but that's really good for a 2-year-old child to like practice matching with that. I'll link the Etsy shop I got these from down below. They're really, really good. I really rate that shop. I'll also link some from Amazon you can get. You can get these little animals by themselves, and you can just make your own cards of these because they're just laminated pictures. You could just do that as well, and that makes it even cheaper. And finally, you can buy a little nut and bolt set for your child. You may have seen in my last video that I recommended a little wooden tool set. Well, the next step up from this is to get a little metal tool set for your child. So a little bit of wood with screws in it, or like nails, and mainly screws. You screw it in and you have a little bolt. This is obviously for an older child and you need to watch very carefully because it has got small parts, but it's much more of a Montessori style activity because it's got the actual metal bits for it. You can make this yourself with parts from Amazon, or you can get actual Montessori nut and bolt sets for just over £10. So I'm like squeezing this into this video because it's a really good activity to like get a proper little screw set. I'll put some pictures here so you can see what I mean. But yeah, this is a really great activity. You can just do so much with this. This is more about the rotational schema and practicing their pincer grips and their rotating action. There's lots of different skills that this targets, and I really, really rate this activity as well. So those are all the toys I'm going to share with you today. I hope this video was helpful for you in the run up to Christmas, and I really hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye guys.